Jim Carrey is Walter Sparrow, an animal control officer who finds his entire life turned upside down after his wife Agatha, played here by Virginia Madsen, shows him a novel that shares more than a passing resemblance to his own life. But as his obsession with the book continues to grow, Walter slips further and further into the darkest corner of his own mind, in The Number 23. Hi, I'm Cinematico Magnifico of AmoralCrackpot.com, and welcome to the Nightly Chill. The Number 23 from director Joel Schumacher is a very strange mess of a movie. On the one hand, the movie is tonally and stylistically all over the place. The performances shift back and forth between naturalistic and melodramatic. The movie starts off as a fairly grounded look at one man's descent into obsession and madness before becoming this stylized pulp mystery before then turning into a gothic horror story. It's hard to pin down the movie as this serious dark story or a comedic throwback to classic genre pieces and storytelling conventions. But on the other hand, there's still this very engaging story of one man losing his tentative grasp on reality and sanity woven throughout this mess. Now, unfortunately, that story is the one told in the book Walter obsesses over, rather than the one we see play out in full with Walter himself. The book is a pulp detective story in which a detective by the name of Fingerling becomes obsessed with the number 23 after he meets a woman already driven mad by it. And soon enough, this book not only drives Walter mad, but also convinces him that the book is actually a murder confession from the author. And while the detective story would work fine enough on its own, it's the story that inspired this novel within a movie that's the best thing going. This dark, twisted story of a cursed love that consumes everyone involved, driving them full speed into madness and death. This is exactly what the movie should have been focused on from beginning to end. Yes, it's a bit derivative, but its inspirations are the sort of stories written by men like Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft, the sorts found in old pulp magazines and radio programs popular 60 or 70 years ago. This may not have necessarily earned the movie any awards, of course, but it's the sort of grim yet somewhat campy genre piece Schumacher was clearly trying to make. The majority of the movie actually presented to us is instead a fairly dull one. It feels like filler that exists simply to pad out the runtime of two shorter, better films. And sadly, the performances suffer somewhat for it. Carrey and company can often be seen, to speak in more theatrical terms, playing to the back of the house. They speak in melodramatic tones and with exaggerated gesticulations, but each time, it's in the style and degree of a scene's given style or tone. Again, the general look and vibe of the movie changes throughout, but the acting does this as well. If it's Walter speaking with his concerned wife, it plays out in the surreal styles of a traditional Hollywood thriller. Carrey and Madsen will speak in quick fits of emotionally charged shouting as tense, sharp notes of a violin shriek behind them. But if it's Walter picturing himself as Fingerling, playing out the story as he reads it, the characters speak in slow, punctuated speech, their words in tone and inflection conjuring up images of a dark office and a smoking hot blonde lit only by her cigarette, the brass section playing a sensual, alluring tone beneath all this. Now, if anything, the movie is consistent in its inconsistencies, but again, this doesn't mean the movie is somehow bad. Uneven and a hot mess of plot styles and tones? Yes, of course, but when it's good, it's kind of great. Nothing innovative, but it's especially fresh in a time where stories like it are long out of fashion. As a general rule, I would definitely suggest you chill with the number 23. However, it must be made clear that your mileage will vary, and the extent of this will be determined by your interest in classic pulp magazines and radio serials, in gothic tales where the allure lies in being made witness to inner demons slowly consuming a man from head to toe. That's gonna do it for us tonight on the Nightly Chill. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and also be sure to leave me any questions, comments, suggestions for future reviews, and maybe even discuss today's movie at greater length. And as always, this video is brought to you in part by our viewers. If you'd like to learn how to support this and other projects, please visit amoralcrackpot.com or check the description below. But until next time, y'all need to make like a tree and get out of here.